problems. Norton Furniture is here for you. Now, seriously.
You're listening to the Funbox Podcast.
I ate a bunch of LSD.
I did a series of videos on rape victims.
Dude, being left-handed, it's the worst thing in the world.
With your host, Rob Webb.
Can you tell me if it's cut or uncut?
For visual sakes, oh man, it's a very much so uncut. That's how I roll.
Nice. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Funbox Podcast, episode 41. Moving on up in the Middle Ages. We're in the middle-aged group. We're 41. We're having a midlife crisis. Everything's, I'm going to buy a motorcycle soon. Or the show is going to buy a motorcycle and get a piercing. Today, I have my brother, Pablo. Say what's up.
Yo, what's up?
There we go. Get the applause going. Yeah, there it is. Welcome to the Fun Box, my dude.
Good to be here.
Yeah, I'm glad you came because I needed a guest really bad. And he's my brother, my actual biological brother. Maybe we could call this episode like, I don't know, Brothers in Biology or something. Who knows?
There you go. You know, it's my brotherly duty to show up when no guests are available.
Yep. The last resort. No, I'm just kidding. No, I had to have you on. I'm going to have another guest on. You're kind of like making up for last week. Not you personally, but me. You're making up for me not having a guest on last weekend. Right now, Thursday podcast. Not too bad. Hopefully have a guest by tomorrow. That's the goal, to get another guest tomorrow. So. But yeah, today, really don't know what the topics are because a lot of it has already been exhausted. Every current topic right now. I'm actually been really good at taking a back seat on the whole current, sounds super gay to say this, political climate. But yeah, I've been taking a huge back seat. It's been a lot happier.
Oh, dude, haven't paid attention to anything. I have known nothing about COVID. Know nothing.
Yeah, I don't either.
Holly actually put on a Wine with the Wine today. Dude, it was
Wine with the Wine?
his 2:00 briefing.
Oh, okay.
And, dude, it was on for probably 10 minutes, and I was like, I had to turn it off.
Right.
I can't even stand listening to him talk anymore. I can't take his voice.
I don't like his face. He just looks like a transitioned woman. Or he looks like a transitioned man.
And then his deaf interpreter looks like a transitioned woman.
Yeah. yeah. She used to be a man.
Yeah.
And he used to be a woman.
Like, he was her before he was transitioned.
Yeah.
And she was him before she was transitioned.
All right. Those of you, if you guys are watching in another state and don't pay attention, like if you're like me and don't know any other state's governors, Mike DeWine is the Ohio governor, the governor of Ohio, and his interpreter, his what do you call it? Yeah, sign language interpreter.
Yeah, if you pull a picture up, she literally looks like DeWine in disguise, kind of.
Well, we'll play a quick video there. Here we go. This is a good one. It's for everybody to really see, kind of like what we're talking about.
You all set?
Dude, it's seriously like.
First, thank our sign language.
So she.
Thank you very much.
Used to be a man.
Yeah.
Have done.
And he used to be a woman.
If they really wanted to transition, they just got to look at each other and know how they turn out.
Yeah.
Hear our press conference and hear the questions and hear the answers. So we are very grateful for that.
Are they related?
Dude, it's crazy.
In a moment, Dr. Acton will bring you up to date on the figures that we have.
But yeah, there you go.
Each
All right, wait,
day,
I don't even-
what you're
yeah,
seeing is,
you know,
many people.
I love the different
simply
like
do not know they
type of
have it.
things.
And some of those individuals will
I don't know
never
if you remember
they
this,
have
but
it.
Obama
So-
had a sign language interpreter that got outed as a person that didn't know what he was doing,
Yeah,
and they called him out.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh my God, that's
it
the
was-
funniest thing.
Yeah, I remember that. He was doing it was a live speech, and he somehow made his way on stage through Secret Service
Right.
and was doing nothing at all in regards to sign language.
Yeah. How do you? I saw a comedy. David Smith. He's a comedian. He was talking about that. Like he was saying that was the biggest like underdog story. They should make a movie about that guy. Like everybody was like, he's one day I'm gonna be the sign language interpreter for Obama. It's like, you can't do it. You don't even know sign language.
Dude, they could probably make a movie just about that day.
Right.
It had to have been something crazy that had to somehow transpire to have him somehow sneak through all that. And
Yeah, how did he fall through the cracks on that one?
well, I think they ended up saying that he was like mentally unstable or something. But so I think either
in other words, he was.
yeah.
That's
like,
what he would probably do.
Yeah, he was either like he literally convinced himself mentally that he knew sign language, so he was able to pull it off.
Right.
Because in order to bullshit that good, you almost have to believe it yourself.
Oh yeah.
Or he's just insanely the best bullshitter out there.
Oh, of all time. I mean, that is the number one job for a sign language interpreter is the president of the United States.
Yes.
You reached the top of your craft.
Yeah. You pretty much have to retire after that.
Yeah, especially if you're outed as a fake. Oh man, if only I could bullshit that good. The car salesmen are pretty good at that.
Yeah, I think nowadays it's so. I don't think it's as bad as it used to be because
No.
it's just like everybody knows. You know, I mean, cars. They're just like there's still dealers that do it the old school way. I avoid them at all costs, but it ain't like everybody has access. Everybody can find out the value of a car. You know what it's worth at their fingertips. So it's
Yeah.
hard to really bullshit somebody in that case anymore. You have to be pretty gullible to fall for it nowadays.
Oh yeah, and the divide of Ford and Chevy isn't as much as it used to be when we were kids, like in the '90s and 2000s. It was like so. It was such a. It was like fuck Chevy, fuck Ford. They always had their own like.
Well, it was like, you had the huge truck debate, Ford trucks versus Chevy trucks,
Yeah.
Dodge trucks. But now everybody has a truck. Trucks aren't used. You don't see people with blueprints and tools on the truck. on
No,
the
like
hood of a car
2x4s.
anymore. Yeah, exactly. No, you see moms going to Walmart
Yeah.
and putting groceries in the back.
And the inner cab is bigger than the bed.
yeah.
It's like, why even get a truck then?
Yeah, you have a truck. It's got like a 4-foot bed
Yeah.
that can't even fit a sheet of drywall in it. But no, in the 80s, the commercials for trucks were literally guys with blueprints on the hood.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's literally Karen taking your kids to soccer practice.
Yeah. Yep. I did witness a real life Karen once with the mom haircut. I mean, with the talk to the manager haircut.
Oh yeah,
And
angled down.
Yeah, angled down and cut and real short in the back.
Yeah.
And it was at what was like B-Dubs or someplace in Cleveland. It was on St. Patty's Day, and she wasn't getting sat fast enough. It was it was during the St. Patty's Day parade, and it's busy. And she had the haircut and everything. It was even like had like blue hints of blue in it. It was even colored. I was like, whoa! It was like the Karen level was like, man. She was a high level Karen.
Yeah, they're coming out of the woodworks anymore.
And talking about, we didn't get set, blah, 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 blah. And the manager walked by me kind of just like, oh, I could tell he
Here
was
we
just
go.
like, he was just like, had to deal with it. And I looked at him, I was like, she even has the haircut.
It's like she woke up, looked in the mirror, and said, "How
Yeah.
can I make people hate me today?"
I don't know if he got what I was saying, because at the time it was a new thing.
Oh, the Karen,
It was the Karen
yeah,
haircut. It was like a fresh, people started talking about it. And that's when the memes started coming. But yeah, I'm sure that guy know. If that guy remembers and didn't get the joke then, he gets it now for sure. And I hope he remembers me going, wow, she even has the haircut.
Yeah.
Because he probably didn't know what I was saying. But good times. Saw it firsthand. I was a lucky person. It was like I felt like Dr. Grant in Jurassic Park. You have a T-Rex. They move in herds. They do. They do move in herds.
They do move in herds.
Did you like watching movies now and when you were a kid, when you watched it, you thought they said something different?
Yeah, yeah.
And you watch it now and you know what they're fucking saying?
Well,
I thought he was saying, when I was a kid, I thought he was saying, they're moving in herits. It makes no sense. Herits. Like inherit something? I have no idea. They do move in herits. That's what and I just kept it in my head. Herits. They move in herits. And then as you grow older, you're like, oh, he's saying herds.
dude, I think the movie that really blew my mind the most, that I watched numerous times as a child, then took, I don't know, maybe 10-year break from watching it, and then watched it in a mature mindset, was Forrest Gump.
Oh, yeah.
That movie by far, you know, the infamous in the dorm room with Jenny.
Yeah.
I had no idea that he prematurely ejaculated.
Yeah,
in that
me
scene
neither. I didn't
when I was
get
a kid.
it. Yeah.
I just thought he got kind of embarrassed.
Well, I was like 11 or 12. I was actually 10 or 11 when that movie came out. So, well, it came out in 93, so I was 10.
Yeah.
Or 92 or 93, so I was 10. So,
yeah, I would have been 8. Yeah.
yeah, I didn't understand what that was all about.
Yeah,
anyway.
no, and I remember seeing it for the first time as an adult and being like, "Oh my gosh,
Oh, yeah, duh.
that's totally what he's." Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what happened.
He touched her boobie and
And he
prematurely
pre-ejac-
ejaculated. I think I ruined your roommate's towel.
I watched that scene with my parents in the room. You know what I mean?
Do you remember mom going,
No,
that's what she would do with anything that would happen in a movie. It's like somebody be like, well, yeah, let me get you later that night and tap that ass or something. And then you'd hear my mom go,
Yeah, no, that's funny.
those were the days. But yeah, man. Episode 41. It's a good one. I actually listened not too long ago, listened to the last podcast me and you had where we just talked about our guilty pleasures.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
that's on Spotify now too. If you scroll way down, it's like one of those obscure episodes without a title. It's just
Your episode count, does that include when you were doing what was that app called? That podcast app. MixLR?
oh, it does not include those, but on
does it-
Spotify
You can get those episodes?
episodes, yeah.
Gotcha. I was curious about that. Cuz I thought in my head 41 seemed a little low, but now that makes sense if you don't count those.
Yeah, I didn't count those. I have about maybe 6 of those types of episodes where it's just audio. There's no video. The episodes start counting when the video, when they have the video.
Gotcha.
And actually, that's when I started the Funbox YouTube channel, which I have 306 subscribers now.
306.
Yeah, 306.
Did you by chance did you notice any type of incline from your ICP? Or
No, not at all.
no, nothing.
Nothing.
Got no extra.
I didn't get any extra views or nothing.
Oh man.
But the most I've gotten is from Sinatra. Sinatra Says.
Yeah.
From the AAA podcast, the AAA podcast that he does with Drunken Uncle.
Yeah, I follow him now. I follow him.
And,
He makes a lot of good points.
Yeah. Yeah, just rebuttals things.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's always a two sides to every coin.
Yeah, yeah. I always say, I think when it comes to my grounding, it's a little right for where I sit, but I still
weird.
enjoy it.
It's weird how the left and right work anymore. I don't know. I guess I'm slightly right wing just because I end up having these values, and a lot of people will be like, well, you're probably just watching too much of this channel or too much of that channel. And it's like, well, if that's the case, a lot of the times I won't be able to help that because the computer's going to do that automatically.
Yeah.
Anything else I got to look for. So it's just entertainment that I'm getting. And if it fits my algorithm, it's going to do that. I don't really seek out anything.
Well, no, you're definitely influenced by the content you watch. I know if I sit and watch Fox for hours straight, I'm going to be influenced. If I watch CNN for hours, I'm going to be influenced. But honestly, I've never felt more middle ground in my life. Now, this is because I literally quit watching mainstream media. I shut it off. I'll get a couple tad bits online, online stories, but I'll usually try to investigate it as much as possible.
I mean, when I say I don't seek out anything, it's more of when I'm looking for entertainment.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I do seek out entertainment. Don't get me wrong. I'm saying regular leisure flicking through a phone type of thing. It's like things are just going to be broadcasted to me through algorithm specifics that I'm not
no. My algorithm definitely leans right. If you go on my Facebook ads, I'm a gun guy. I like guns, so I get a lot.
Yeah, a lot of gun, Second Amendment.
Any type of pages that go that route.
Yeah.
I'm always getting holsters.
Yeah, and there's
advertisements for holsters.
There's always a pro-Trump thing tagged along with that. Yeah,
it's funny talking about guns and Trump. I love Trump. When I say this, I don't mean in regards to his presidency. I love Trump in the fact of never in the history of presidents would you have seen a campaign poster on someone's property with Rambo, with Trump's face photoshopped on Rambo's body, with Trump in bloody letters that say, "Make America Great Again." Right. And I love it. There's a guy in the lake that lives on the lake around 6. If you go, he's got a Trump Rambo sign. And I'm like, then never in the history of our country has that been a political ad or a political poster.
Yeah.
And people, I love the fact that people are so, when you get people that are pro-Trump, they're pro-Trump. And I love it because I love the passion they have for it. Even though I don't even see it at their level, I don't even agree at their level, but I just love the passion they have on it.
Well, a lot of the passion too there for Obama. I had most of my friends were Obama people pretty much, and I thought it was fun. It was good to be around people that were happy.
For sure.
That's what I kind of felt about the whole thing. I didn't really have a dog in that battle between him and who was it, Mitt Romney and Dick Cheney, or not Dick Cheney, but the other guy. Was it Dick? I don't know. No, that one other super white guy.
When he originally got elected in 08?
Yeah.
It was oh my gosh.
He's dead now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Goodness gracious. Wow. Talk about Palin. He ran with Palin, Sarah Palin, and
she was the vice?
She was his vice pick. Why can't I think of his name? McCain.
Yeah, John McCain.
God, goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Wow.
And when Obama got elected, I was like, yeah, cool. Dude, we got a black president. That's all I felt. I didn't have any kind of I didn't know his policies or.
Be honest, the first time I actually voted for Obama, and the only reason I voted for Obama was because we had 8 years of Bush, and McCain coming in was like, God, it's another 4 years of Bush.
Yeah.
I was like, it was like we needed change, which was his slogan, change.
Yeah.
Oh wait, change.
Just what we need another. Oh, it was Lisa Lampanelli. She said this. It was like just what we need, another black guy asking us for change.
I was just like, I literally voted for Obama, literally for a change of pace. Did I drink the Kool-Aid of his campaign, Logan? I don't know, maybe. I was a lot younger then.
Yeah.
I would say I was a lot more easily influenced then. But that was the last time I voted for right or left.
Yeah.
Ever since I've been voting independent ever since.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I was like 25 or something, 24, 25 when he got elected. When Obama was elected, yeah.
God, was that long ago? So I would have put in like 22. I guess it was that long ago.
It was
right?
08.
Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't seem like.
Yeah.
When I put it in my age, in the perspective of age and how old I was, I'm like, damn, I was so young then.
Yeah. Let me see. Go ahead and clap your hands for me. All right. Well, I don't know. You might be a little bit delayed.
I
Maybe.
know. Is your video?
There's me. I'm delayed too, but I have the audio. I have the audio fixed to where it's slightly delayed, or where the audio is delayed in the program, to where it'll match up with me.
I did notice that because I can catch my movements, like it's way.
Oh no, different.
Oh, I guess you're on there. Yeah, I guess you're on there too.
I'm a little bit. It's not going to be too bad of I'm going to be probably on with my audio. You might be a little bit off. That's why I need to get the same cameras for everything. I got every camera's different, so everything is shot. I need to get the same camera for everybody. That's what I need to do. But whatever, it still works. It works, guys. This is for the Spotify listeners too. So, and I listen to Spotify all the time, like the entire day. I listen to podcasts.
There's this new podcast I listen to, and it's almost like I don't even like to say I like it because it's so dang meatheaded.
Oh,
Like it's these meathead guys, and it's called Mind Pump.
Mind
Pump, yeah.
Are they super fucking alt-right?
You know what? Honestly, surprisingly, it's very, very mixed. You have one guy, and I mean, they probably
Because you know what it sounds like, right? Mein Kampf.
Oh yeah.
Okay, here we go. Where's the laughter? There we go.
But it's like just these three meathead guys. I mean, now what's nice is they discuss topics that evolves along besides, steel in the gym or creatine or protein.
Yeah, protein, creatine.
So they get in depth. They get in some pretty in-depth conversations, and I enjoy that. But there's some times where I'm like, oh my gosh, these guys are such tools. How do I even listen to them?
Yeah, why?
But then they get off into a rate because a couple of guys are dads, and they express their daily struggles of parenting that I relate to very much so.
Yeah.
And they're about our age. So there's a lot of relation there in regards to their podcasts. But man, they get on some tirades where I'm just like, oh my gosh, how do I listen to it? And I'm like, I'm totally not in their demographic. I don't work out.
Yeah.
I don't take protein. I don't do it. But I mean, they have to be doing something right because they're catching my attention, and I'm not in their demographic. So
Mind Pump.
Mind Pump.
Gosh, it's so similar to Mind Kampf. Jeez.
I never even thought of that.
Racist!
What these bitches want from a nigga?
But yeah, man, what I do have is we can go through our segment of the What's on Your Mind segment. The top 10 memes of the week. Of last week. Well, this last week, it's a combination of last week and this week since I missed last week.
Okay.
And what we do, you've seen the one of these What's on Your Mind segments, right?
Yeah.
Where we review memes. We just talk about the memes. So I guess that's what we can do now. This is the What's on Your Mind segment, episode 41 edition, top 10 memes of the week.
and Facebook as usual.
What's on your mind? What's on your mind? What's on your mind? Yeah. Don't. I always love letting this whole thing go through because I love this song.
It's catchy, man.
Socialized. There we go. Pixies, baby. All right. The What's on Your Mind segment. Top 10 memes. Number 10. Well, I guess we could look at it this way. Number 10. And it's just a picture. If you're on Spotify, we apologize. This segment is a little, it's very specific to YouTube. And right now, it's a guy, looks like he's getting hazed in a college. This guy has his pants down. He's getting whapped with a paddle by this other guy. And there's dudes looking around. Who's that other guy?
Look at right there.
In the background.
He almost looks like he's photoshopped in.
Yeah,
like
that guy?
Like a bad Photoshop.
Yeah. What? What?
He has no legs.
There's no legs. This guy was photoshopped in there. I just realized that.
Total
I saw
Photoshop.
it earlier and I was like, but he's getting hit hard. His skin is like recoiling.
You know what his ass reminds me of? You know the infamous what is it? World War II atomic testing on the island.
Oh
That
yeah,
famous mushroom cloud.
Oh yeah,
that's what his ass reminds me of right now.
Yeah, it looks like the shockwave. Dude, it's going over his whole fucking ass. Dude, that sucks. That's gotta hurt. But this guy right here is taking the show right now. I really don't know what's up with that.
Dude, his head is huge. Like
it's creeping me out.
He's definitely no. That's a Photoshop for sure.
All right, number 9. Can you take? It's a text of can you take me higher? Bro, quit sending me that. Just tell me how much weed you want. Yeah. Not much really to say here. He's got a really good weed dealer. He doesn't care about, just talking about it on the text, He must live in a... I don't know. I mean, there's people around here that don't care. They're just like, oh, I'm smoking weed on the text messages, even though it's illegal.
Yeah.
But some people are real particular about, what you text them. If you do that thing, if that's what you're into. But yeah.
It always boggles my mind how such a structured jaw Scott Stapp has.
Yeah. Yeah, he is very, there's an ashtray for you there. He's a pretty boy. He's a very pretty man.
Well, I remember being into Creed and older,
the first album.
Yeah, and
First and second album.
I remember kind of older people kind of being like, "Oh man, you listen to Creed," and me being like, "What are you talking about?" It's
I always
awesome."
knew older people the older people I knew kind of liked it.
Well, I mean, I would say older when I maybe 10 years older than me. People that were really into the grunge.
Oh, I was talking about dads.
No.
Yeah, I knew people's dads liked it too.
I'm talking people that were older than us, but not dads yet.
Yeah.
That were into they're really into the grunge.
Pearl Jam.
Yeah, the early 90s grunge. And I remember them being real Creed haters.
Yeah,
Creed sucks.
Yeah.
And now looking back, I'm like, I
totally understand why
you thought
he
Creed
commercialized
sucked.
this whole.
I listen to it now solely because it's nostalgic. It takes me back to the good times, good days. But besides that, it really holds no purpose for me.
I mean, this is a classic right here.
You know
This is a classic. Creed shreds 1,000 years ass. Joseph. Well, I don't know why he said that. Clank, Oh, man. Cheer.
What kind of steer you can need here?
Yeah.
Just do my hair. Only if it smells like shit. No, sir. Yes, sir. I get Mark in the nuts so hard it's free just like this.
I don't remember it being this long.
I know, it's pretty long. It's almost over.
Airline Pierce, Gear Spear. I know you
1,000 years. Yes.
Oh my God.
That's funny, man. I've probably seen that 1,000 times. It's still as funny as hell.
1,000 ESLs. All right, back to the segment. We got number 8. Oh my God. Oh, it's not a butt.
Oh, man.
It's not a butt. All right, those of you on Spotify, this picture, number 8 meme. It looks, this dad is laying on a bed, kissing his little baby with his wife, and his shoulder and his bald head look like a butt, and it looks like, yeah.
You know, when this first popped up, I saw exactly what everybody's gonna see, but my mind was like, "There's no way someone would be that cruel,
Yeah,
to stick their bare brown hole in a baby's face like that."
yeah,
And I had to literally convince my mind to see something else besides that.
yeah. It's like I couldn't believe it. Oh man, but yeah, we'll go with a laugh. That works. Number 7. Ross Close posted this to the Facebook page, the group. I just saw 9 homeless people giving each other flu shots under the overpass. What a caring community we live in. God bless. Yes, I like that one.
See, even the homeless vaccinate, you know?
Yeah, they know how to take care of each other.
Yeah.
Number 6. I think I downloaded the wrong Nightmare on Elm Street. Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. It's Freddy. Instead of knives, finger blades for fingers on his glove, it's dildos. It's a porno. And he's probably going to use all of them. Number 5. Maggie Brother Maggie Brothers posted this to the Funbox group. One testicle hangs a little lower than the other so they don't touch each other because that's gay.
I like how they made it really cute looking.
Yeah. She gets a lot of likes on all of her memes for some reason. I mean, not because they are good. They are good, but I think it's just she's super popular on the group. It's funny. It's awesome. Number 4. Googling Gary Oldman. The R. Straight men. This is good.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, you don't want to forget the R. Gay old men. Who said that? Kevin Smith said that in an episode. He typed it in. We were streaming live, and we did talking about Gary Oldman, and he posted in the live chat like, if you're typing in Gary Oldman, don't forget the R. It took me 45 minutes to realize Gary Oldman was not in this movie. Number 3. This is a good one. It's a picture of a pigeon being okay. In 2009, a pigeon named Winston raced Telecom, South Africa's largest ISP, to see who could deliver 4 gigabytes of data to a location 60 miles away, the fastest. By the time Winston arrived with the 4 gigabyte flash drive, Telecom had transmitted only 4% of data. Yeah, nature, bitch. And it has Jesse Pinkman from the Breaking Bad show, the classic meme, Science Bitch, and this is Nature, bitch. Nature beating science. That is a fun story, though. That is a cool concept. You could, I believe that. 60 miles away. I don't know what year this took place, but I'm sure that that happened. Like our phones now. Have you seen what the SpaceX capsule is inside the SpaceX capsule now? Mm-hmm. It's touch screen.
Yeah,
all automated.
Controls,
Automated system, and I'm kind of like, maybe I could be an astronaut one day.
Yeah, I know. It literally. Well,
SpaceX Tesla will just make these vehicles that we could just go up real quick. Yeah, I'll be dead. It'll happen. There's gonna be one day. There's gonna be like orbit, like rides where you could orbit the Earth, like with an instant, or it's like
it's not too far out at all.
Yeah, it's not too far out. The way he could just put things up, and they could put things up in the orbit. It's like that. Now they're gonna get to a point where they're gonna make like a ride, like a actual thing, and like maybe multiple cities will have one where it's like an orbiting thing. It's like, well, it's like you pay this much money and you get to see the entire planet. And
I know Elon Musk said that his 10-year goal is to be able to travel, use orbiting as a means of traveling within the Earth itself via his space Starship shuttle. You see that? So you'd be able to like fly out of LA using the Starship, go to Hong Kong in literally like 40 minutes.
Wow.
Fly time, 40, 50 minute fly time. So it's not far out.
How did they do that? Just by speed, or are they using like space, like orbital?
Yeah, well, when you get up in the atmosphere, you have less wind resistance, so it's easier to go faster.
Oh, right.
You know,
for sure.
So you use that to your advantage, and then also and these ships are almost going to be like pilotless in a sense, because all his rockets are. I mean, gosh, you can have a rocket land, a reusable rocket land on a 20 by 20 landing pad, or a 40 by 40 landing pad in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to just dump a bunch of people in a ship, in a spaceship, send them to another part of the globe. I think they said anywhere in the anywhere in the world is within like a 45-minute
Wow.
flight time. 50-minute flight
Like
time.
what's the? It's like so hard. Like Australia. Anytime I hear people flying to Australia, how long it takes, I'm like, dang, dude, that was a long time.
Crazy.
I mean, it's not long. It's Australia.
Well,
So-
you fly. I mean, gosh, you fly from here. You're flying. You usually fly over Pacific to go to Australia, obviously. So you go. I mean, going from here to L.A. That's huge. That's a huge trip in itself. And then you go from L.A. to God knows where else? Probably Hawaii, and then Hawaii to Australia.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Right? Yeah. Science, bitch. All right. Here we go. Segment. Number 2. Already at number 2. Niggas be like, I'm here if you need a shoulder to cry on. The shoulder. Oh my gosh. Once again, we have the SpongeBob meme with the SpongeBob veiny shaft peeking through, pulling down his pants and showing the SpongeBob veiny penis. That is 100% true. Then what we're talking about. It was like those faith healing or like real hippie type or woke women. I think those are women that are actually trying to help themselves and be a better person. People that think that way, and dudes that think that way. I just see that they're just trying to get poon.
Yeah.
By those girls. Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm serious. It reminds me of that dude on what's that movie with Jennifer Aniston and Paul Rudd, and they go to a commune.
Oh yeah.
Every dude like that reminds me of that commune leader.
Yeah.
That ends up banging his wife.
Like you wanna? Oh yeah. That movie is great because it has. You ever watch the real take when he's in the mirror?
Oh yeah.
You wanna get this dick?
Yeah, get the dick. Oh my god.
Touch
Yeah.
this dick.
All right, this is the top meme. Number 1. Now all of California knows it's a boy. Or here we go. No. It's always a boy for those gender reveal things, it seems like. You know what this is all about, this meme is talking about, right?
No, not really. Actually.
The forest fires that's happening out west right now was started by
gender reveal party.
Oh,
yeah. I gotcha.
Yeah, like 700 and I don't know, how many acres? I don't even know.
Oh gosh, dude, thousands.
Yeah. It's kind of wild. But yeah, it seems like it's always a boy. Especially if it's a mass, like if you're blowing something up. Okay, what? The gender reveal powder is inside that bomb over there that you're going to explode? Guarantee it's a boy. I'm just going to call it right now. It's a boy. Because it's the dad that's like found out and then he's like super pumped. So he makes a Jimmy Rig pipe bomb with powder inside of it. Dude, have you heard the story of that one gender reveal where they set up this like homemade explosion thing and it exploded and this thing flew out and like nearly decapitated this woman, killed her?
Oh, no. Was it a girl?
Was it killed some woman or did it kill her? Or what?
I think it was a, if I remember, it was, they call it tannerite.
Tannerite?
And it's a explosive used by a high velocity flying object projectile, which is usually a firearm bullet. And I think it was a colored tannerite, and they hit it, and they weren't.
It was a grandma.
The Marion County Sheriff tells me this is a.
It was a grandmother killed by an inadvertently made pipe bomb at gender reveal party.
Oh my gosh! Now, I never seen this one.
Yeah, dude, people are retarded. And I mean that in every sense of the word, in the most offensive way possible. Retarded. Actual retarded people have an excuse. They were supposedly born with a good diet. But yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm not for these gender reveal parties. I think it's just like, gosh, I don't know. I think I'm anti like fad or something. Like if it's in, I'm just kind of anti it. I don't like want to be that way. I just think I defaultly like subconsciously start hating things when it's like the big thing to do.
Right.
And
I'm a contrarian. I hate trends.
yeah, maybe so. I don't like trends. Yeah. Like I never watched a single episode of The Tiger King. People think it's crazy.
I watched a little bit of it. I watched most of it.
I almost didn't do it solely based on because everybody was into it.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
just want to be different.
I guess maybe. I don't know. I watched a little bit of it.
But yeah, that was What's on Your Mind? Edition, episode 41. Usually the last one somebody says, "Oh my God." That's why I have this. Oh my God. Or at least one of them. Yeah. What's on your mind? But yeah, that's what we do here at the Fun Box. All you Spotify listeners, if you guys want a t-shirt or something, go to teespring.com and there you'll see in the description you could order a t-shirt.
I was kind of expecting some free merch for being a guest. Kind of disappointed.
You can get a sticker if you want.
I'll take a sticker.
Yeah. It's quality.
Heck yeah, man. It's like professionally legit.
I got stickers. Is it blurry? It is blurry. No, it's not blurry. But yeah. Funbox Podcast. There you go. And that's what I'm talking about. So yeah, we've been going at it for about 47 minutes. Anything? Oh yeah, here we go. School just started. And I know there's a lot of parents out there that are kind of, how do you say, flustered?
Crazy?
Flustered. And
dude,
except that they want to drink more wine and they want to drink more booze.
This is an excuse. They're drinking it anyway. They you know what? Honestly, man, it's been so bad. I find it comical to over exaggerate things, but honestly, it's not that bad. The people that are complaining out there are the people that are going to be complaining no matter what.
Right.
Monday, going into Tuesday, dude, it's crazy all the people that were freaking out about Tuesday with their kids with this e-learning, off-site learning, whatever you want to call it. And I'm like, and maybe because I'm a guy, I didn't know too many dads out there that were freaking out.
Right.
But me and Holly both we weren't really nervous. Like we just kind of like didn't have any expectations with it. I was like, they're like, well, what if you can't log on? I'm like, all right, I don't know.
Not my problem.
Yeah, I'm like, well, my kid's gonna be stupid for the day. I don't know. Yeah. I don't really care. I wasn't freaking out about it.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything I lost sleep over.
That's why, okay, that's good to know because there's probably a lot more parents that are like you out there because you only hear the freaked out parents.
Yeah, no, I mean, I hear all the time people freaking out about it, but honestly, it hasn't been so bad. I would say my only complaint is weird. What's weird is Kaysen, who is my youngest son. He is 6 years old. He's in first grade. He, 6-year-olds do not really have much of an attention span. It's really hard to keep them focused, keep them entertained. So when you're in a classroom setting, you're always switching up the topic, switching up the content of the classroom to keep them focused. Well, it's really hard to do that on an iPad on Zoom with a 6-year-old.
Right.
They expect Kaysen, who's 6 years old, to sit from it's like 9:30 to 12 to 3 hours on a tablet on Zoom watching their teacher.
Wow.
And like the first hour is fine, but and it's funny because you can see when you're doing the Zoom classroom,
Yeah.
you see all the students, they're all like muted,
Right.
but you can just see each one falling out.
Yeah.
Focus. You see one start kind of looking at their wall, then they disappear, their backs facing the camera.
Right.
One is just the ceiling. You just see a ceiling in their image, Kaysen's on his back on the floor with the tablet, holding the tablet up in the air, looking down. But it's actually funny. He's on Zoom longer than Connor, who's my oldest son, who's 9 years old in 4th grade. They expect Kaysen, who's younger, to stay on Zoom at a longer period of time than my older child, which is kind of weird. But it is what it is.
Have you heard the story about the teacher that called the cops on a student because she thought he had a gun?
Oh my gosh!
School calls.
This
cops
had to
on,
be in California.
School calls cops on 12-year-old boy who held toy gun during Zoom class.
This had to be in California. Where does it say where it's? Colorado Springs. Oh my gosh! I don't really know gun laws of Colorado. I'm not too familiar with it. I know they are stricter. I think they have there's some strict policies. I think in Colorado Springs it's specific to that town, to that city. But I'm sorry, man. If there's something wrong, if you really see a Nerf gun on a wall, you obviously have never experienced any sort of life. If you really think that's a real gun,
yeah, I automatically would have just assumed it's fake, like it's through a Zoom thing. And if he does get shot, what if he does like have a real gun and he shoots himself on accident during a Zoom class?
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously I'd feel bad, but why would I as a teacher be responsible for that?
I don't know. Well, I mean, I think obviously if you're a teacher, if I'm a teacher and I'm doing a Zoom class and I see my 9-year-old student and I see, in my experience, I know what a firearm looks like.
Yeah.
If I'm seeing
there's a chamber and everything.
Yeah, no, I mean, if I'm seeing if they're in their bedroom and I'm seeing an unlocked,
he has like 2 44s.
Rifles or a Glock or something just chilling on the nightstand.
He's clinking together like 2 guns.
Yeah.
And rubbing them against his teeth and licking the barrel.
I probably wouldn't. I don't know if I would necessarily contact authorities. I'd maybe contact the parent and say, "Hey, I noticed something in the background during our Zoom session that looks like a firearm. Is this something that should be be concerned about?"
Right.
But I would give the benefit of the doubt
that it's fake or nothing to worry
but
about.
You never know. You never know. I mean, there's a lot of irresponsible parents out there that don't lock up and take proper protocol when it comes to their firearms. But that's obviously a Nerf gun. I mean, that's not even like a airsoft gun.
We don't know if this picture in particular
is the gun she was
talking about.
Wow.
I mean, we could read the thing. It's like, I don't know.
Well, I'm sure they're going to say what gun it was.
Another kid, an 11-year-old whose airsoft gun briefly appeared on screen during a Zoom class, was similarly suspended. There are many reasons to oppose virtual learning as the new default for American public K-12 education. Perhaps most importantly, it neglects schools' vital role as a form of daycare. But the opportunity for the state to invite itself in the home and make trouble for hardworking parents and innocent children is also a serious concern. There's one more wrinkle here. Unbeknownst to parents, Elliot's school has been recording the Zoom session. The school did say it would abandon this practice, though it makes little difference to Elliot's parents. They wisely decided to transfer him to a private or charter school. Good for you. Why not? Yeah.
What these bitches want from a nigga.
But yeah, I thought that was funny. Well, kind of sad in the same. Oh man. People.
There is in the past 3 days with this whole online learning, I have kind of thought in my head that I almost think if I would have known for sure they were going to do this like 2 months ago, which I had a pretty high inclination that this was the route it was going to go.
Yeah.
With everything going on with the protocol they take on COVID positive people, I was like, school wouldn't work out with the way they have things set up now.
Yeah.
It gets shut down within a week, of
Right.
the way they're doing their contact tracing and all that. But if I would have known for sure, I honestly think I would have looked into an actual homeschool program, my own program, and I would have maybe even paid out of pocket for it. And the reason why is because public school isn't really designed for homeschooling. It's still really governed. You're still under their thumb. You got to do things when they do it.
Yeah.
Well, if we would have done a homeschooling program, we would have been more free. I could do it. I can create my my curriculum for the kids in a more structured way. They can, when you do homeschooling program, you can literally do your work in like the first 2 hours a day, be done, and have the rest of the day off.
And all the school together, even through kindergarten through 6th grade or 8th grade, I learned the most. Looking back, I remember art, music.
Yeah.
Art, music, anything in the arts and music, drama. Lowell Academy in Lorraine had all these different classes.
Mm-hmm.
I remembered the art classes the most, and science.
Yeah.
Computer class I remembered. Yeah, so it was hands-on. Anything I was doing hands-on to teach you computer skills, art skills, science, any kind of science project. Those are the things I learned the most from, or the hands-on things. And I couldn't tell you like what year the Boston Tea Party happened right now offhand. Like I wouldn't be able to. I know it happened. I wouldn't be able to tell you exactly where the British attacked and put in their first wave of soldiers during the Revolutionary War. I wouldn't be able to tell you that. Maybe it was like in Virginia or who knows.
Dude, the class I retain the most information from, even to this point in time, was my senior year of high school. There was a class offered that was kind of more aimed and geared towards students that were behind in credit hours, but OWE, and you got out and you went to work, and they included that credit hours, your time worked. And Mr. Wilson was the teacher of this class. I learned more from him in 1 year that I still carry on to this day.
Right.
He was the teacher that busted out his checkbook, taught us how to write a check.
Oh, right, yeah.
He taught us how to what interest rates were good, what interest rates were bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
we did have an economic class, which was very informative and taught you kind of how to balance your checkbook and things like that, and talked about credit and credit scores and things like that.
Credit score, yeah.
We did have that, but I fell asleep all the time in that one.
There was I remember there was a careers class too.
Yeah.
I didn't learn anything from careers class just because the teacher I think was worthless in that case. I forget her name. She had a camel toe all the time though.
I just think there's a way to teach where everybody can relate to it. You kind of have to go the simple route, I think, with everybody, because there's always going to be smarter people that just pick up on it and they're going to already know, like, and raise their hand for everything. But I would say gear the class and calibrate it to like the lowest common denominator of ability of a kid's brain like me. Like, dumb it down just a tad bit for me to understand this.
Yeah, for sure.
Because Susan over there, freaking top of the class, valedictorian. She knows everything, raises her hand for it. Super smart, obviously way smarter than I am. Or just applies herself differently, like looks at,
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's like, okay, I still don't get it. So screw it.
Yeah, for sure.
You're not even gonna. I don't even care to listen anymore at that point when I was in school.
I had nothing to do with that. I hated school so bad.
Yeah, I still do.
Oh.
A lot of people say, once you're out of here, and I've went beyond that now. I'm at a point where a lot of the teachers are me or my age. A lot of the teachers, even professors in college, I'm at, they're I'm at that age where I'm pretty much.
Yeah, the average professional employee now is our age.
Yeah. Actually, the average age in America is our age, too.
Yeah.
36, 37 years old. Well, it's 37 right now. I'll be 37 in a couple months. But, yeah, it's wild to think that I'm going to be in the average age group of the entire planet.
Yeah, I was actually just talking to somebody about this the other day about feeling how certain things, it's weird how certain things will make you feel aged. And I just was reading that not this year, but the next year, it'll be 20 years since 9/11.
Yeah.
And I was thinking that kids in school nowadays learning about 9/11 look at 9/11 the way me and you looked at Vietnam War.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And when I thought about it in that sense, I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I feel so old.
I was born 9/11. Okay, check this one out. This is another weird way to look at it, and it'll flip your screw your brain up. There's two different examples. One, that 70s show debuted in 1998. That's like us making a show now called The 90s Show, and it starts in 1998.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That is true. That's crazy.
And
gosh.
when I was born, JFK was shot 20 years before I was born. Just 20 years.
Yeah.
And now looking back, 20 years ago today, Nookie came out. Limp Bizkit's Nookie.
Yeah. There was
more than 20 years. I think that came out in 99. That's like 20. Nookie is old enough to drink.
Okay. They were doing I was reading an article, and it was pretty much putting time into perspective of making you feel old. That was the point of this article. But it said more time has passed since the release of The Lion King, from the release date to now, than the time frame it was between us landing on the moon and The Lion King.
Right.
More time has passed since the release date to now of The Lion King than the time frame between landing on the moon and the release date of The Lion King. And I was like thinking about that. I'm like, oh my gosh, man.
Yeah, you could go even farther. They were talking about the pyramids were built way longer before the gladiator times than the gladiator times compared to today is a shorter time period than the pyramids being built to the gladiator times.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that another weird one? That's just weird.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is interesting about that, man. I don't know. I'm not going to, as a man of faith, I have faith in certain things that the Bible says and
prophecy
and things that happen as if time travel or interdimensional travel or anti-gravity existed back then. You would think the Bible may have talked about it, but it must have, if it existed, it would have existed before the Bible. And you would think there'd be some God regulation on that, because obviously it regulates everything, but I'm just saying it's interesting to think, since the government has said and openly said there are UFOs, and Bob Lazar, the guy that claims to have back engineered an alien spacecraft.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't he on Rogan?
Yeah, he was on Rogan not too long ago. He said the spacecraft, he learned that it was an archaeological find, and they found a stabilized version of element 115, which people didn't think that it existed, but apparently it does.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the element used for anti-gravity technology as fuel, like some kind of source for it, to bend space and time, or to flip things around. So basically, instead of using fire to shoot out of your spacecraft and to propel you forward, it's flipping the gravitational pull against yourself, so you're falling in reverse.
Mm-hmm.
That's the technology. Somehow it creates this distortion around the spacecraft that goes opposite and flips upside down.
That's crazy.
And that's the technology that he said that he worked with, and they had to back engineer to figure out how it worked.
Yeah.
They never could. They couldn't figure it out. But what I was saying is that, the pyramids, how there's always these coincidences in the pyramids, the, what do you call, latitude, longitude, the triangulated area of where they're at in the planet.
Yeah.
Match with what the speed of light is or something. I don't know. Like there's some kind of correlation with the positions of the pyramids.
Really? I didn't even know this.
And
never heard of this.
And the aspect and the concept of speed of light. And I was like, maybe if everybody's telling the truth, if Bob Lazar's telling the truth, he found a spacecraft, or not him, but they found an archaeological find. Maybe the ancient Egyptians were just into like interdimensional travel and time travel. And that's why throughout time people have seen spacecrafts. But they're regulated, they're not allowed to intervene with us.
Yeah.
And maybe some do. I don't really know if I believe in any abduction stories. But
well, the concept of being that we're the only living species in the universe is just a very highly egotistical mindset. I mean, it's just so vast. I mean, it's just like it's almost impossible for there not to be.
Well, with the concept of infinity, it's possible, but I do think I look at everything as like some kind of design. Yeah. It's a design, like you said, you throw your if going by science, infinite possibilities. If I was to throw my dirty clothes on top of a dryer and washer in an infinite amount of times, they would eventually get washed. Somebody would pour dish detergent into the thing or some kind of force. Something would happen to where they would get washed and then put back into a dryer and then taken out and folded.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's how complex the universe is. It's more complex than that. To me, it's like, I guess if you have infinite amount of times, like, I'll just go simple it down. Infinite amount of times you throw your clothes in the dryer, they'll come out folded already,
Yeah.
If you did it an infinite amount of times, according to science, that's completely possible. And it's hard for me to accept that without being, there's got to be some kind of design.
Well, yeah. Creator.
Yeah, some kind of creation of some sort.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When you really do the math of the probability in science of a planet being perfectly located, strategically located next to a star, that it provides life to this magnitude, it's such a crazy probability, such a small probability, that how can you, in my opinion, how can you leave it up to science itself without a design or a creation?
It's kind of like looking at
literally almost impossible.
Yeah, it's kind of like the studying blueprints, or like even when science studies DNA, genetics, and things like that. It's a design. There's a program. There's like there's an actual code.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like if evolution exists, which science is kind of like, it's gearing towards, that's a thing, then that would mean in the beginning stages of this being, human, whatever, of organism, it was designed and coded for it to change at a certain point. So even then, it's like you could say evolution, you could be a creator and believe in evolution at the same time. As far as us coming from some kind of like dumber Neanderthal type of person, I don't know. I guess we learn more. Obviously, the people that were, if Adam and Eve existed, we know more than what Adam and Eve knows now.
Yeah, of course, yeah, for sure. I mean, I believe we are created. I believe we're a product of creation, of a higher power, a higher deity. You know, in my faith, it's God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit. But, like, I believe that we were created to evolve. Well, evolution is a proven theory. It's proven. We evolve on the daily. I believe we evolve at a lot faster rate than what science has given us credit for. Just in the past 200 years.
Yeah.
Regardless of where we've evolved, I mean, science doubles by the day.
Well, then you think about it, though. Did we? Because when you look at the news now, it doesn't seem like we evolved much at all. And it's like, you look at where our forefathers kind of structured this country. It's the concept of it is actually profound. This concept of individuality and freedom to
we're getting to a point where the science or technology that we created is actually causing the adverse effect of, in my opinion, human nature. You had to thrive to create something. You had to use your imagination. As from a child, from the day one, you sit in your yard and you don't have anything to do. So what do? You create something. You use your imagination to keep your mind busy. That's not needed anymore.
Yeah.
Because they have iPads, they have computers, they have YouTube, and they don't need to work the tool of their mind. I speak from experience with my kids. I hate the fact that that's the case, but it's so hard not do that.
I don't think I learned enough. Like, there's things that I don't know. I don't know how to grout a bathroom. Like,
what
you're saying?
Well, that's just thanks to having a lot of time from being unemployed. So I learned that. A lot of YouTube videos.
Right. Yep. But yeah, man, I back to the pyramids though. And time in general, and how, you look at it. It's a perspective. It's really wild how 9/11 is that long ago, almost 20 years now, and which this will be broadcasted on 9/11 actually. So tomorrow is 9/11.
To think that kids born on 9/11 in 2 years will be legal age to drink.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yep. They will never know what it's like to play hooky and then look at the TV and see those giant twin towers that you remember your entire life.
Yeah.
Big fucking chunk of like the view of New York City, those two giant buildings just gone.
That's what scares me about like the generations that are coming up now. They don't have any concept. And even me, I was young, I was a sophomore in high school when 9/11 happened. So, I was what would that have been? I would have been 15 years old.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're still young and 15, but I still remember life pre-Patriot Act. You know what I mean? I remember life in America.
Yeah.
From looking at other adults pre this current state of like militarization that has evolved since 9/11 as a result of 9/11. But the kids growing up now, they don't know anything different. They think this is normal. They think going to the airport and getting random cavity searches is normal.
Right.
So the fact that that is a normalization to them, it's like, gosh, what else can they kind of put in with the generations coming up to even make things worse? Because it's getting bad. It's getting bad with the whole just constant
insanity.
Monitoring. Yeah, insanity. I mean, gosh, look at the crap that's happened ever since March.
I hate to say it, man, but me and Maggie it's changed our attitudes about everything. Now we literally laugh at things that we see. It sucks that it's like that. It's super dark. But when another building gets burned down, well, I don't laugh when it's when I see just angry people and in the street yelling and people are pushing each other around. It's like, man, you could have just like stayed home or like did something like cleaned, like put some mulch into some. Who knows? You could have. I don't know. There's so many things you could do rather than just marching in a street, cussing at people.
Oh man, it's so bad. Oh.
Or like where's your energy being funneled into? That
Mm-hmm.
that's your main thing. That's what that's what you're gonna fight for. Like,
Yeah.
if you want to change something, like become a cop, or start get into politics, which politics suck, but in order to change it,
Yeah.
you got to kind of like put yourself in there and be the change. And imagine if all those people felt that way.
Yeah, for sure. It honestly, when it comes to it, I a lot of people I know personally, I lose a lot of people when I get into this, but in regards to like Black Lives Matter and that whole movement, where they're at now, do I agree on their stance? No, because it's evolved, it's gone so far away from its original intent. And I truly believe the majority of people that do actually classify themselves as part of that movement are good people. And it's statistically, there's more good people in the world than bad people. There is. But
that's being real optimistic, but
there is. I mean,
I
if you take into consideration how many people are on the planet and how many crimes are committed,
yeah,
statistically speaking, there's more good people that don't do crime than bad people.
If we completely cancel out morals, because morals are different and there's no laws to really tell you how to be a moral person.
Yeah.
That's a different story, I think. I think there's a lot of like law abiding assholes.
Yeah. True.
Like they don't like, even if they find out their old neighbor's sick, they won't help them mow their lawn, or people that shoveled their side of their sidewalk or something.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, what asshole.
Yeah.
That's not against the law. He's a law abiding. He pays his taxes.
But I don't know if that's necessarily an intent, though. Do people do that? Is a lot of people doing that in ill manner, or are they just that naive?
Right? Like, I don't want to touch their property.
I mean, is it a fact that they're not shoveling it because they're like saying, "Screw you, I'm not doing your job"?
But if you guys share a staircase, or steps, a stoop, and there's two doors, and you guys share that.
Yeah.
If you get to it first, just shovel the whole thing.
Yeah.
But there are some people that are that spiteful. Maybe they just hate their neighbor that much.
Yeah, man, people are there. There's some crazy. There is some crazy people in the world. But
like, I don't even care how much I hate somebody. I'm just gonna go ahead and shovel that side just to get it over with. Like, there we go. I don't want to fuel the fire. Yeah. He's gonna get out of his house and see that, and make it's another thing to get mad about. It's just like,
no, when I say, when it comes to like support of Black Lives Matter, I go in the depth of like
these bitches want from a nigga.
I gotta take in the fact data that's accumulated, and when you look at data, the statistics, it is more likely that a black guy being killed at the hands of a cop is more prominent than a white guy. Now, people will sit down and argue with you that more white guys are killed by cops than black
you're
guys.
talking on per capita.
Per capita, yeah. You got to compare apples to apples. You can't compare. There's three times.
If you go everything by the numbers game, white people always down. It's 61% white people.
Exactly. You're going to have more white people, but you gotta put it in per capita or per contact. So, and when you drop it into those numbers, there is a definitely a favor in regards to black people being killed.
Well, it's
by
interesting
cops than
though,
white
like
people.
institutionalized concept of the prison system. There's more black people in prison, right?
Correct.
So that, according to just a numbers game, why is that? They make up only 13% of the population. So people blame there's a discrepancy or there's like discrimination thing going on when they cast the judgment and when they and that is very well possible. It's just hard to prove that based on the actual, to assume that immediately that people are just racist and causing this to happen is like, yeah, they could be, but there's no way to really prove intent on a judgment or on whether a cop kills a black guy. You can't prove that he's a bigot and that he did it because he's black. There's no way to really prove that. Only God can really prove that. And like,
True.
You killed him because you have a microaggression towards black people, and that's what made you pull the trigger. There really is no scientific way to prove that. All we can do is look at the numbers and see what's going on. You could also, people also blame the culture and hip hop culture that a lot of BLM embraces. It's the in which a lot of the hip hop culture embraces violence. World Star Hip Hop was a big thing with a lot of fights, filming fights in the streets. In the songs, you'll see, I'm from a disenfranchised neighborhood, proud of it. My neighborhood is more hard and more crime-ridden than yours and more poverty-stricken than yours. I am more of a gangster, more of a thug, I'm harder than you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of competition in the hip-hop world in that regard. Videos of, being, thug life. There was like this whole thing that's geared towards this type of violence or just deviant type of behavior that people call deviants, and how impoverished neighborhoods tend to have more deviant behavior because of that, and that being echoed through the knowledge of cops. Cops also probably have a TV. They see that too, when you're projecting that type of attitude in the hood. It kind of doesn't surprise me that more black people are getting shot because of the biased, because of the way the culture is projected through the media. I mean, and through World Star Hip Hop and things like that.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I can't. Obviously, you're an idiot if you think all black people act like that. That's just proven to be wrong.
Yeah.
It's your skin tone does not decide your behavior at all in any aspect. And I made this comparison to Eshawn at work. I said, black guy. I was like, proving that skin color doesn't work. It's a proven fact that skin color does not decide your behavior, because if I was to go into Congo or go in Australia and adopt an Aborigine child, straight up full-blooded Aborigine from a tribe somewhere, and they're like, you could have this baby, and I bring the baby home and I take care of the baby and I raise this kid. The kid's gonna talk like me and talk and play video games the way I'm doing it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He's gonna get his dialect from his friends or whoever he's around. He's going to have genetic traits from his father, and it could be maybe he's a nervous guy and he taps his foot a lot. Maybe his father ran fast, was a really fast runner, or really good like focusing on things. Those are traits that you get genetically from your father, from your parents.
Yeah.
But it has nothing to do with their skin color, because the Aborigines have different genetics amongst themselves too. Not every woman wants to do the same thing. Deep in their minds, they have a lot of things that they're better at than each other. So that you're going to get those genetics from your parents. But as far as skin color goes, it makes no sense. It has nothing to do with your behavior, unless you look at your skin color and go, I'm going to act like a white person. Like, I've never decided to act white. It just it happened because of my surroundings.
Yeah, for sure.
But
it's definitely culture influence for sure, not race.
Definitely has to do with culture. But if you're tagging along race to it, that's what sucks, and that's why I hate any kind of like identity politics about that, because you pigeonhole yourself into this group that a lot of people, and if people will say me being naive to that thought about what it's like being black is because I'm white, and you will never know. And it's like, you're right. I mean, I will never know what it's like to look at my skin color and identify with a skin color, and that's my privilege. People will say I'm privileged because I don't have to look at my skin color. I was like, well, nobody really does. Like, if I was raised being told that the world is stacked against you, I mean, well, that's just anybody with money. If you're born in poverty, the world is stacked against you, and they'll be like, yeah, we're black on top of that. And it's like, well, that's true. The 61% of the population is white. I don't believe most of them view skin color as like their identity, and like it's not a thing. Content of character goes a long, long way. That's why Chuck Berry was able to play at the places he played at. You know, you see these entertainers like LeBron James doesn't act like a thug. You know, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not saying everybody acts like that. I'm just saying it's like the when in Rome thing. If I went to China, I wouldn't burn the Chinese flag. I wouldn't, and I became a citizen, or I was born into China as, I don't know, but I don't know what it's like to look at my ancestors. But then again, what am I trying to say? I don't identify with my ancestors either, like some people do. Like, if my ancestors were slaves, I don't know. Our ancestors could have been kicked out of Europe for like tax evasion or just being scummy people. Who knows? We don't know.
Yeah.
And because like when you're sent to the Appalachians, you're usually a person of and you're an indentured servant. You could work your way back into Europe, or you could stay there. But I don't know. But then, white people can't work in the sun for too long. But I don't know. I mean, that's shitty to say, but I know they tried. I know there were stories about people trying to enslave some Europeans and things like that. And it was
for sure. Every nationality has had its
it's not a unique thing
in history. Yeah. Every single one of them. Every single one.
Yeah, it's not a unique thing. I definitely understand the plight with everything, and my whole thing is really just looking at everybody through content of character really goes a long way, and it's hard to listen to you if you're burning a flag and cussing.
Yeah, no. Yeah, you get it's a distasteful way, and you usually get a negative.
Well, if you're talking like this to me the entire time while I'm talking to you, and then you're talking like boo ba boo boo ba boo, I'm not gonna really. You're like preaching and shouting at me.
Yeah,
I can't have a conversation with you.
You've seen these videos going viral of restaurant patrons just sitting there in Black Lives Matter, whether it be Black Lives Matter, Antifa, whatever, marching by and literally forcing them to raise their fist. If I'm sitting there, a smart thing to do, probably raise my fist. That's probably the smart thing to do.
Honestly, I'm going to be completely honest. I probably would just raise my fist. No, I might be a pussy.
No,
people would be like, "Oh, you pussy." I'm like,
it's not.
It's easier than to get my ass kicked. So
no, that's called situational awareness, and being like, I know if I don't, I'm in a situation, and I want to go home today.
Yeah, I just want to go home.
You know, at the end of the day,
I'm going to go home and I'm going to say the N-word and stuff.
You know, but here's the thing.
Just kidding.
It's funny.
Am I?
But I see these videos of these people refusing to do it, and they're putting that out there to show that they're like, oh, they're racist or anything. It's getting a backlash on them. No, you're making a martyr out of these people that are just trying to eat. Right. You know what I mean? And that's not a good cause for your. That's not a good image for your cause. You have this innocent person eating dinner, and they're being forced to do it, and they're not doing it. You just created a martyr against your own movement.
Yeah, which is why I'm glad Trump always denounced, and people say he doesn't, but I've heard him denounce white supremacy many, many, many times.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, because those people will make him look bad. It's like, and if the algorithms people like that are looking at, maybe that's why they're so mad. They're just stuck in an algorithm online. They're watching how many cop shooting videos are they watching? Like, because you could go online and look at anything you want and see a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like me and Sinatra were talking about that. He looks at aquarium videos. You could literally look at aquarium videos for like forever. And then you keep like one day just look at nothing but aquarium videos. Next thing you know, your algorithm switched to like aquatic
yeah, for sure.
So if you're looking up cop shooting videos, you're going to look up a lot of far left type of attack against that. There's a which I believe in policing the police, and there's a thing though, the internet's a crazy place, man. You get caught into that algorithm, you're going to be a pissed off person.
Well, here, funny story. So this is speaks on what you're talking about. Back in March, like when I lost my job and everything started hitting the fan with COVID and whatnot, I started getting depressed, getting into some dark places, and I was finding myself just in Facebook every day, getting into it. And I started getting a little paranoid because I'd click on a COVID video, one of the worst case scenario videos.
Oh, yeah.
34-year-old, no health issues.
Yeah.
And then, or 34-year-old nurse dies of COVID. And I click on these videos, and then the next thing I know,
suffocated to death by his mucus.
My whole news feed is what now?
COVID?
All COVID.
Ugh.
And I'd see an obituary, COVID-related obituary. I click on it, and I start noticing all my posts all my news feeds are, and I start getting sucked into this black hole, dude. Yeah. I was getting sucked into it. Holly saw it coming. I didn't really see it coming. I mean, and there's a lot. There was like I always say it was like a perfect storm back in March, and April. I lost my job. Kids were out of school. Kids were depressed. Seasonal depression was at its height already. So you had the mixture of everything, anxiety, not knowing what's going on. I have a wife that's in the front lines, working in the ER.
Yeah.
Seeing stuff all the time. It was like a perfect storm, man. I was getting sucked into this black hole, dude. It was a bad situation, and I just finally what broke it was the weather. When the weather broke, I started getting out. I started getting busy. I started working in the yards, mowing the yard, taking care of the lawn.
Right.
That kept my mind busy. That kept me off Facebook. Then I started watching videos of how to do stuff. Started watching videos on like how to pour a concrete pad. So my algorithm changed.
Right.
I started seeing DIY projects all the time.
Exactly.
And then finally I got away from COVID.
Yeah.
It's like I was literally breathing, eat, sleep, COVID. That's all I was doing.
Right.
And I didn't intentionally get into it. It was on accident.
Yeah, it's brain poison.
Oh, man, it was crazy. And that was the moment I realized how crazy algorithms is in the internet. Like, it's crazy. And it doesn't take long to get your algorithm. Like, right now, if you go on my Facebook, all my ads are all vinyl flooring because I was looking at how to install vinyl flooring in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Or most recently it's been like the other day I started looking for like a recliner furniture, so now I'm getting all these furniture ads, whatever. Right. But no, I think back, man, I tell you what's crazy is when all these lockdowns happen, now we're getting the data from all these lockdowns and the problems they enforce, the suicide rate.
Right.
That does not surprise me one bit. When people talk about, oh my God, how many people committed suicide during this time? I was like, I am a sane person.
Oh man.
I'm a sane person. I have no mental health issues. Right?
Thought about painting the walls with my brains.
And I'm not saying I got to that point where I considered it or anything, but I can relate to somebody.
Oh, absolutely.
That already had mental health issues being put in my situation. Oh yeah. I can see it all day. I can see it all day. That being an end result.
Yeah.
If thank God, I didn't have any mental health issues.
Right.
Because who knows?
Yeah.
You know, because I tell people all the time, it was like I was getting into some dark spots mentally. Places I've never been to before. I've always been an optimistic, positive person. Never been a real negative Debbie Downer.
Yeah.
But I was there.
I'm in the middle. I'm like, maybe I'm bipolar or something because my highs are real high. My lows can get pretty low. Not as low as a lot of people with bipolar. I don't get angry. I get angry alone. Or if I'm if Maggie's around and I'm doing something, sometimes I gotta be like, Maggie, you gotta just walk away because I'm doing a project. I turn into the dad from A Christmas Story when I'm trying to fix something. Especially in here last week, I had an output issue, and there was no reason why it wasn't working. The only thing I could think of is Windows didn't update all the way, and I missed a driver update, and because I was doing everything, and there was nothing coming out of my computer as far as an output goes. And I had another output I was able to use, but my main things like music and media, that output wasn't working, and I was losing my mind. I was like, what the fuck? Like, why is this happening? I felt like I was like, everything was against me. It was like the smallest little thing to be pissed off about. Like,
yeah,
first world problems right there. But, yeah, I get pissed. But that's the most I'll go. I'll get really upset or behind the wheel. I'll like punch the thing. I'll punch my inner console. Be like, what the fuck? Boom. And then a lot of it has to do with my anxiety. But other than that, I'm a pretty happy-go-lucky guy. When I get really too drunk and black out, I'm pleased to find out that I've been very, for the most part, real happy. And I'm real loving with everybody. And to even the point where I cry, like, I love you, man. But, yeah, it does hurt to hear, embarrassing to hear a story where you were angry, but at the same time, a lot of people in the story will be like, well, you had a right to be, this guy was doing this to you.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, okay, I don't feel so bad now. Obviously, he must have triggered me or something. He was calling me out or whatever it may be. It's happened a couple times when I would DJ. This girl, I was like, last call, and I played the last song. Or not last call, but this is the last song. This is my time. Good night, everybody. And I hit the last song, and then I go out to smoke. And some girl went up to the DJ table and put on another song. When that song went off, she put on Crossroads by Bone. And I'm smoking, not really noticing. And Carly walks back and goes, Rob, can you tell her not to play another song? She played another song. And I'm trying to get people out of the bar. And it's like big thumping music,
Yeah.
And at this point, you're supposed to turn on the house speakers, real light music.
Yeah.
And turn the lights on, or whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
Just to try to calm everybody down.
Yeah, Crossroads does not do that.
No. I mean, it is a closer type of song. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's a good last closer. Yeah. But I'm already done. I've already said that, and my last song played, and I was in the back, and she touched my equipment, And I get back up to the DJ booth, and I turn it off. I'm like, sorry, guys. And then she starts yelling. This girl starts being really pissed. Oh, really? Blah, blah, blah. I was mad.
The audacity she
had. She thinks she's in the right to just go up to people's stuff.
Dude, I'm curling my toes just hearing this.
All right, so
pissed off.
I said, listen, baby. I was already like Jack Daniel'd in.
Uh-huh.
Like, I ain't got to get pushed around by this stupid yappity, whatever. And I was like, listen, baby. Time is up. I got to go. That's all she wrote. And apparently her boyfriend was right there, so I didn't realize it was her boyfriend. He's like, what? Don't you call... Yeah, you better not be calling her baby or something. And I was like, oh, you're her boyfriend? And I was pretty much like, why don't you like keep a leash on that? Keep a leash on that next time. I was like, listen, I'm like, saying it jokingly. And I was like, listen, I apologize that I called her baby. I don't want to get you mad. I'm just, having fun like everybody else, but it's just my time to go and I have to go. And I was trying to be as reasonable with these people as possible. I was like, I just have to go. And she kept yapping and like wanting to hear the song. Like, you're just an idiot. I don't know, whatever. And, he's like still really pissed. And he's like almost egging him on, and he's drunk. So he's like, yeah, maybe I should be more pissed than I am. Oh my God. It was like that girlfriend in the Key and Peele skit. It's like she's like cussing at people, and then he's the boyfriend that has to fight her on her.
Oh yeah.
He's like, damn it, son of a bitch. And then at the end, he's like, well, if you weren't such a crazy bitch, and she turns around, and he's like, okay, and he punches himself in the face. But yeah, I had to deal with that guy now, and his friend got involved. So when they're like talking to me while I'm breaking down, like trying to really like get into my head about why I would turn the song off and what kind of asshole I was being, like, just here's why you're an asshole, and they just keep explaining why. And I'm like, listen, if you guys were to know me in like other than this, I'm sure, I bet you any money we'd get along in any other circumstance right now. Like any other circumstance, if we just were hanging out, you would have no problem with me, and I probably wouldn't have any problem with you.
Yeah.
And nothing I said was calming him down. And I had to call to the doorman, Derek. I was like, dude, Derek, come here, man, for a second. And I was like telling them, and they're talking amongst themselves at this point. And I'm like, I just have a feeling about these people. They're not letting me like pack up good, and I'm just asking you if you could keep an eye on these people. I'm afraid they're gonna like start something soon.
Uh-huh.
Like I'm not afraid per se, because obviously they'd get kicked out real quick if something happened. But I just wanted to keep it from getting to that point. And they saw me talking to him, and I kept packing up, and Derek's like, what's going on? And then she didn't realize it, and she doesn't realize he's the doorman, and so she keeps bitching, and then starts bitching to Derek, like, what's the problem? And Derek's like, what's the problem? And she starts telling him the thing. He's like, well, then don't touch his shit. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah.
Like, everything's fine. Like, I had already apologized. It just wasn't nothing I did de-escalated anything. And he had to get in there, and then they started getting rough, and he kicked him out. Before he kicked him out, one of the guys came up to me. I said something. I was like, this is like, I was like, fuck, where they said they were from somewhere. And it was probably Florida or something,
Yeah,
I think it was Orlando or something. We're from Orlando. It's like, so you're just like, so you probably done crocodile, and crystal meth then. No, but it's like, I don't know what she was going with that. I was like, yeah, well, this isn't Orlando. I don't know. Maybe it was Atlanta. Who knows? Georgia. Who knows where they're from? I don't know. I was like, this isn't that. This is Vermilion, Ohio. Like, I don't know. But yeah, he ended up picking out. I had a speaker in my hand. I had to like push a guy off me with the speaker, like one of the DJ speakers, man. I was like,
sounds like your typical textbook example of a douchebag.
oh, it was a colossal disaster with the whole group, the 3 people group that was happening. And then when they were getting kicked out, she's like, they started yelling at everybody in the bar, like everybody's a part of our thing. Like, all you guys are a bunch of pussies and shit like that.
Oh my gosh.
It was funny. I was like, man, dude, that's like, I knew I wasn't stupid. I knew. I'm so glad I called the door guy over, and just to kind of like, it kind of proved my point. I was like,
witness to the situation.
Yeah, and I'm kind of on good behavior in a way. For 2 years, I heard they could really lay the hammer down on me hard. It would take a bigger case if I got in trouble involving any kind of alcohol situation, or, you know what I mean? Like, because I fell asleep in somebody's back on
Oh yeah.
a friend's or his neighbor's back porch instead of his back porch or in his driveway. I fell asleep in his front porch thing on accident.
Yeah.
Honest, weird, a hard drunken mistake. But I was woken up by a cop and I went to jail. So, and had to take that to court, got a lawyer and everything's fine and dandy now. But yeah, there is like a thing. My lawyer was telling me like a 2-year thing where I'm fine, I'm free, I can do whatever I want. It's just if I get in trouble in 2 years, it's gonna be different.
Yeah.
Than whether or not if nothing happened and I got in trouble for that. So
yeah, for sure.
I gotcha. Yeah, if I get a DUI or something, it's gonna be a little bit worse than if I first just got a DUI.
Yeah.
But that's the way it goes, man. That's the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah, I remember you told me about the DJing gig, and you're kind of trying to get me involved with it.
Oh yeah.
And the more I thought about it, the more I was just like, I just couldn't deal with that. Couldn't deal with it. First off, I'm not a really big drinker.
Well, you almost have to drink.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
During it, I mean, if you are a DJ and you don't drink at all. Good.
That's what I'm saying.
Hats off to you. I don't know how you do it.
That's what I'm saying. Is I know I couldn't drink like that to put up with the BS.
Right.
And I know the more I thought about it, the more I was just like, you know what? Nah, I just couldn't deal with that situation. And not even that. And then that's on the bad end perspective. I couldn't even deal with like the fun end of the perspective of people being,
hey, what's up, dude?
Yeah. All up in your space, requesting a song, touching your screen. Oh yeah. Play this.
Yeah.
Touching your buttons. Like I couldn't deal with that.
Yeah.
No, I just couldn't deal with that. Because I mean, from the times that I've went up there and hung out with you while you DJ'd,
Oh, I always hate when and it's always a chick. Every now and then it's like a 21-year-old dude. But at any age group, it's always a woman that comes up with her phone, and you're just like, here we go. You just know it's gonna be like 10 song request thing. She's gonna have like 10 songs she wants you to hear. Can you Sicko Mode by Travis Scott? 21 Savage. Da 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 this and that and then WAP. Cardi B, you gotta play WAP. Yeah, at the end of that, you definitely gotta play WAP. I mean, you wanna, yeah.
No way. I couldn't deal with it. I could not deal with that one.
There's like this drunken voice that I'm coming up with drunken girls that request music. And it's like this gum chewy, like, it's kind of like, and it just sounds like this when the music's going. All you hear when she comes up, it's like, hey, you guys are not trying to start. I understand. I'm just like, I know. No. Can't stand. Can't stand. Oh, you know, that's all that fucking sounds like to me. When especially when the. Oh my god.
I couldn't deal with people coming up to me with
drive into the lake and die.
I couldn't deal with like people come up to me like thinking, oh yeah, check out this request. I bet you never even heard of this request, right? Low Places, Garth Brooks.
Oh, yeah.
And then they drop that like it's like the best damn request. I remember
2 pina coladas,
dude. I remember, and I'm guilty of this. I remember being at a bar in Baltimore called Howl at the Moon Saloon. I don't know if you've ever been to one. There's one in Cleveland, but they had their famous thing was dueling pianos in the middle of the bar.
Yeah.
And they would entertain all night. You would go up there and would play requests. And I remember being like 21-year-old in Baltimore. I was visiting Craig. And I remember going up there with a $10 bill and being like, can you play some Journey? Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Like, I just dropped the best damn request ever. And I remember the look I got. And the guy literally looked. And I was pretty inebriated at this point in time. He goes, dude, I just literally played that 10 minutes ago. And I missed it. I don't know how I missed it, but I felt like such a dumbass.
Yeah.
I felt like such a dumbass when I...
Especially when they already played it, yeah.
It wasn't even any, like... it was Don't Stop Believing.
Oh,
like
geez,
the number one requested song probably they get.
Right.
But I remember putting that 10 in there like, yeah, this is going to amp the party up. Don't Stop Believing.
You're right.
Journey. And I remember just the look that he gave me.
You gave him the 10 anyway and told him a different song, right?
What's that?
You gave him the 10 and told him a different song,
because
right?
the way they do requests is that's paper.
Oh,
You
okay.
fill out a paper, and then you put it up there with a tip. And then the better of the tip. And they actually did play it because I tipped them $10.
Oh, okay.
But they only played like half the song.
Right.
You know, they only did like a quarter of it. But yeah, I remember thinking, yeah, this is original. I'm so original. Don't Stop Believing.
Oh man.
And
yeah. Again. Again. Do it again. They want to hear it again. Everybody does. I requested a Shake Your Rump by the Beastie Boys at a wedding once, and it took them forever to play it. And then I walked back up. I thought you took requests. Like an asshole. And then he's like, oh, I do. I was like, where's the Shake Your Rump song, man? Haha. He's like, oh, it's coming. And I was like, all right, cool. And I left, and I missed it.
Oh, yeah, that's the worst.
I went outside to smoke or something. Goddamn cigarettes.
That's funny.
But yeah, all right, that's cool. We've been at it for about an hour and 50 minutes. Nice episode.
Doesn't seem like that long.
Yeah, it goes by quick. Talking into mics, headphones on. Goes by pretty quick. Good. Time flies when you're having fun. That is 100%. But yeah, everybody, episode 41. Thank you, my brother Joseph Michael Webb.
Thanks for having me, man.
AKA
It was fun times.
Hell yeah. AKA Pablo.
Pablo, you know, real quick, it's funny if I'm in a bar, I always know where I'm at in my timeline of acquaintances or friends by that.
By Pablo.
Yeah. If it's Joe, oh, I know that's a fairly new acquaintance friend that's calling me.
You're right.
Pablo, it's like, oh yeah, that's an old school friend.
Yeah.
But
Pablito eat a burrito. But yeah, guys, take care of yourselves. May the wind always be at your back, the sun always on your face, and the road to rise to meet your feet through your journeys. And thank you for listening or watching. If you're on Spotify, obviously the episodes are on YouTube, the Funbox Podcast. And if you're watching on YouTube, you could always tune into Spotify. And it might be on iMusic now or iPodcast or whatever the fuck now. I put in my feed for that. So I've never checked it because I don't use Apple. So
yeah,
anymore. So it might be on there. So if you do that, check it out, look it up. It might be there. Also in Spotify, you're going to get different. If you scroll all the way down, you're going to get songs that I did, along with other past episodes from beyond. But thank you for tuning in to the Fun Box. There's going to be a lot of good guests coming up soon. Young Moe is on his way soon next month. He's a rapper from Illyria.
Nice.
Very prolific. Does a lot of videos. Does a lot of singles and songs with other people too.
Awesome.
Not just himself. Yeah. And the Midnight Train podcast, they want to come on the show. We want to do like some kind of crossover episode maybe.
Where are they out of?
North Olmsted.
Okay.
But it's a collective 3 people that's from around Northern Ohio, Cleveland, Lorain, Amherst, things like that. Yeah. That should be a good episode. I can't wait. Big fan of that show. Even when listening to it, it's very soothing to the ear because they use a lot of good microphones. It sounds really good.
What's their content based?
It's a Midnight Train podcast is about their whole like what's their mission statement? Yeah, their midnight. This is what they say before every episode. Welcome to the Midnight Train podcast, where we bring the dark to light. What's that mean? We make fun and joke about creepy shit while bringing you as much information on each topic as possible. Host Jonathan Sayer, co-host Jeff Buchko, and producer Moody are just a bunch of good goofballs and assholes that love history and can't get enough of the mysterious. All right, let's turn down the lights, adjust our seats, grab a drink, and let's get spooky.
All right, cool.
He says that pretty much before every episode. It's a good show. I suggested to anybody. It's like one of the better podcasts I've really listened to, with all the diverse like content that they provide, and it's only mostly it's all audio. They don't really do video thing. They have video things on YouTube, which you should subscribe to that as well if you're out there listening to this. But I just engage with these guys a lot. I'm a Patreon. First off, just a big fan of listening to their show. I just like it.
So pretty much just kind of like indulge into like creepy legends.
Yeah, and everything pseudoscience.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check it out.
They did an episode on creepy Texas.
I'm always intrigued by that kind of thing.
It's a never-ending. They wrote themselves a blank check for ideas with the show. I mean, when you think mystery, everything's mysterious. You could go into.
That's true. Yeah.
I kind of suggested the concept of coincidences. Strange coincidences that happens when you dive into that world. There's so many things that's just the most. It's like you almost think they took some kind of divine intervention for that.
Dude, quick question. I know we're going to wrap it up here, but you want to talk about coincidences. I'll tell you a coincidence real quick. My neighbor, she lives across the street from me for like, I don't know, 2-3 years now. So hung out a bunch of times, then one day realized that we were born on the same day, May 7th. We're like, well, that's cool. I never really know many people that are born in May.
Right.
Along with me, not too many people. And then I'm like, well, and I knew she was from Lorraine. And I'm like, well, where were you born at? Well, St. Joe's Hospital. I was like, I was born at St. Joe's Hospital.
Wow.
Come to find out, I was born an hour after her.
Wow.
Here's the crazy story. I remember Mom usually telling me about a story she heard from the nurses in the delivery room on how there was a patient that gave birth on an elevator. Mom told me this story.
Right, a long time ago?
Yeah. And I remember it like being, it was her.
Oh, my God.
It was her mom was being taken up for a C-section, a cesarean. She didn't make it. She gave birth onto the elevator an hour before I was born.
Wow.
And we're neighbors. And it was like, what are the odds of that? You know what I mean? What are the coincidences of that? She's literally an hour older than me.
Well, if you look at, the thing I learned about coincidences trying to get into that world is a lot of the times it really is just a coincidences, and the numbers will even suggest it's really not that far-fetched. Like if I go out especially if you look at the movement of what do you call it? I guess Lorraine natives or Northern Ohio native people that like we are pretty much like born and raised families, and look at all the people that have stayed here and just take that number and mess with it. You could find that coincidence in St. Joseph's Hospital with how many people, and as long as everybody kind of maintained this staying here. You know, it's. Let's say if you moved to Mexico, if you moved to California and met her in California, that would have been a more insane coincidence.
Yeah, that's true.
But there is, it goes beyond. That is a really good one as far as that's a really good one. You could find stories that go beyond that to where it is. Man, I don't know. There's some crazy ones, like a deserted island, the only person. Who knows? I mean, there's weird ones out there that are really mysterious.
Well, I always say the coincidence of I think you've probably heard the story before. When I was 18, I drove to Craig's car to him, and the first day I was waiting for him to get out of duty in the Air Force, and I was at some random mall in California, and was walking across the parking lot, and a kid I went to high school with, Marcus Smetter.
Yeah. Yelled at you?
Yelled my name, Pablo, which
Yeah.
I didn't pay any attention to because I'm across country. I'm in California at a mall I know nobody at. I'm literally first time I ever was there.
There's no way it could be you.
Yeah. And then when I heard it the second time, finally turned around, and here he is walking across the parking lot. I'm like, what are the odds of that?
That is crazy.
What are the odds that I run into somebody from a small town, rural Ohio,
Yeah.
in a high density area of California that I wasn't going to see? Like, I wasn't there to visit him, you know what I
Right.
mean? Nothing, no ties, that we just so happened, and even if he was just in the same, what are the odds that we were in the same random mall, in the same random parking lot at the same time? What are the, that's crazy odds. Crazy odds. I mean, I always think about that. It's crazy.
Yeah, that is a good one. That I feel like that's almost more of a coincidence than the girl that gave birth on the thing in a way. As far as the numbers thing go,
No, the higher probability.
Yeah.
I can see that. You know, considering the fact that anybody born in the 80s and in this area was
Right.
St. Joe's Hospital.
yeah, I knew a lot of people that was born in that
I
hospital.
mean, that was the go-to. I think that was even before Lorraine Community Hospital was built.
right.
So that was like the only
But
hospital.
that is
to go
cool
to.
how it can come around like that.
Yeah,
like a
yeah, it's
memory
weird.
that you had. Yeah,
Well, I remember she was telling me the story of how her mom gave birth to her, and I was like, man, that sounds so familiar. There's no way that happened twice on the same day.
right,
That a woman, that doesn't happen every day, where a woman gives birth on an elevator.
right.
And
Yeah, that's cool.
it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I have more of a chance of this podcast growing to be like super successful than winning the lottery. Like,
Oh yeah,
yeah, but and for that to happen to me is improbable. Like
Yeah.
this podcast to me, to imagine it going anywhere beyond this is
well,
kind of like I don't even.
they said, I just read something the other day, that you have a higher chance of getting struck by lightning, bitten by a shark, falling into a crater formed from an earthquake, and hitting a hole-in-one in golf, all on the same day,
Yeah.
than winning the lottery.
Yep.
That's crazy odds right there.
Yeah. Yeah. The number odds are very, very, very low. Like, yeah. It's like putting all your money. It's like you have a better chance of putting all your money on one number on the green.
Yeah.
Or just on any number on the roulette table.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's actually pretty probable. It's
Yeah.
actually,
Well, they'd say if you want to win money in Vegas, go to the roulette. It's your highest odd. That's your highest odds of winning.
Yeah.
You bet on black. You bet on red. You know,
yeah.
your return ain't as high, but you win some money.
Yeah, Andy. I mean, yeah. People really study that thing. I don't know anything about gambling. But anyway, guys, like I said, a lot of things to look forward to in the future. And really happy to do this. Thank you, everybody that's still listening right now. I guess I want to try something out. If you're still listening or still watching, we did this before. In the comment section, say, what's a word? A random word.
Just any random word.
What is it? Muscle pump or mind pump?
Mind pump.
All right. In the comment section, type mind pump. MINDPUMP. Mind pump. If you have still listened and watched this. And if you're listening on Spotify, find us on social media and write, or anywhere, any platform of social media, and write mind pump. I don't know why that word just makes me laugh, because it makes me think of Mind Pump. And that's such a funny book. Never read it. But thank you guys. Episode 41 in the books. Peace. We got it. Yeah, that was good.
Awesome, man. Damn, my ears are sweating.
Yeah,
These headphones are a lot better. Wow.